All right, Jill, this is the biggie. Oil and gas, and IRAs,
Yes.
right? This is great.
Yes. So we have a couple clients that invest straight up in a mineral right in oil and gas. So there's already a well producing, and they buy a portion of the well. There's other folks that have purchased property, and this is one that I did, so I'll share it with you. So I purchased a mobile home park. This was down in the Utica Shale. It's on the Ohio River, right across from West Virginia, down in Brilliant, Ohio. And so that was in the Utica Shale. So I purchased the property, and then 7 months later, I leased the mineral rights. So in that moment, I was getting revenue based on just a lease, but they weren't producing.
Right.
But that was fine. Every 5 years, I get a big check for the mineral rights.
Okay.
Now they are actually producing. So now monthly, I get.
And you've got something built into that, capture right?
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
we just talked about that with
By
the
the way,
notes.
this mobile home park was one of those that caused a little bit of brain damage, and so I sold the park, but kept the mineral rights.
Yeah,
And
good
so
idea.
those are royalties, and those typically if they're outside of an IRA, you're going to pay a pretty hefty tax on them. But if they're inside of an IRA, royalties.
Again, it's just going to sit there until the day comes and it just builds.
And so,
Wow, that's
interestingly though, and we'll talk about this later, the different types of accounts. This particular park that I purchased with 5% of each of my children. I have 3 children's Coverdell education account. So they have an education account now that it's being funded by oil and gas, mineral rights.
Wow.
So every month they get a check that goes into their Coverdell education account that's paying for their college fund.
What do they think about the whole go electric thing? Like, never mind.
I drive a Tesla, so we can make money all different ways.
So let me, I'm just curious. So the royalties, is that what? And I have no idea. Is I paying like a short-term gain in terms of what?
Well, as long as
percentage?
So they're not actually on my land producing. They're going to the neighbors and then drilling under my property.
Okay.
So it really is not. It's not affecting the surface at all. And
Oh no, but I mean in terms of what you're not paying in taxes right now.
35% or
is that what it
25%.
is?
I believe it's 35. Yeah.
See, that's huge, and that's just going to sit there and keep. That is gigantic.
So let's say I made 100,000. Normally, if I was doing this outside of the IRA, 35 of that would go to Uncle Sam right away every year. And this way, I'm putting 100,000 in this year, 100,000 in next year, 100,000. Where you doing this outside of your IRA, you're getting 65,000 each year.
Sure.
Yeah. So my piece of the pie at the end of that is going to be much bigger because I don't have the government taking its share every year.
Well, it seems like anybody who's investing in anything that potentials of royalties or something quick would benefit hugely by doing it through an IRA.
Yes. So you can invest in the well, maybe that's already producing. Sure. You could own the actual mineral rights, or there's all kinds of ways you can do it.
Are you allowed to use that money then to buy more? Okay, so and that's so you can use it as operating or okay, and there's still no.
Yes.
All right.
Correct. It's still owned by the IRA, so I'm not pulling it out.
Understood.
But the IRA can go buy a rental property, buy more mineral rights, invest in more.
But if you looked at it simply as you said, if you're not paying the $35,000, you're just using that to buy more, blah blah blah. You're doing that every year.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Jeez Almighty.
Yes.
See, this still sounds like something. There's got to be something wrong here. There's this too good to be true sort of thing, but.
You have to have a little bit of knowledge. You have to know a little.
No, absolutely. But it's
because you can still invest in your IRA and it can go to zero. Like you can make a bad investment in it.
But a bad investment's going to be bad investment whether it's in your IRA or whether it's
outside.
The losing is easy.
Yes,
it's how much you get to keep of what you win, and that's
right. That's a very good way to put it.
Man. Yeah.
Now sometimes there are tax advantages for doing it outside of the IRA.
What would that be?
So that might be depletion of the mineral rights. You get a certain. So you might maybe invest 100,000, but you're getting a 40% tax break. So sometimes it's worth it to do it outside of the IRA. But some of the royalties are really great to have inside of the IRA.
Okay, that sounds like it makes sense for. All right.
Yeah.